47, so those of you who are about my time, my age, my generation, you'll remember that our parents would say in the early to mid 80s, when your parents were talking about the fact that they weren't very good with technology, they would say, I can't even program the VCR, the clock on the VCR. And for you kids who don't know why that would be important, you didn't just program the VCR one time. You had to keep reprogramming the VCR because every time the power went out, it would start blinking at 12 o'clock. And that replaced the old clock that most families had. You went to the VCR on top of the TV was how you knew in the living room, which is then as now the room people spend the most time in. Maybe not now as much as they used to, but then on the Curtis Mathis TV on top, you'd have your VCR, and the VCR would give you the time. Well, we've come a long way. If you would have told me that one day we would be able to carry a phone around with us, and we'd have it with us at all times, and that we'd be able to surf the internet on it, and that it would also replace the camera, if you had told me back then that this one little device, I saw a statistic the other day, I think it was 18 items that the iPhone replaces, or the smartphone replaces. Phone, copier, whatever else all it was. But it's just amazing. Well, I don't do a lot of consumer segments. I just don't. I probably should. I do get a lot of pitches for guests who have written a book or who are an expert on a subject, and I read them. And very rarely does it rise to the level that I think to myself, I think our audience would like to hear from that person. But this one was. So a woman named Liz Wyman has written a book called 100 Plus iPhone, iPad Tricks You Can Do Right Now. So we are going to take a break from political discussions for a few minutes and give you some information that you didn't know you needed. But once you have it, you're going to like it. And then you're going to be able to say to your kids, hey, did you know this? And one of the things you tell them will be something they didn't already know, and you will feel incredibly proud. Liz Wyman is our guest. Liz, first of all, how does this book come about? Give us a little bit of your background.
I currently teach iPhone classes at several places, including the Women's Institute of Houston, which is a nonprofit continuing education school. And my students ask so many questions about their iPhone. They wanted to be able to do more than just text and make phone calls, especially since they spend probably over $1,000. As you know, the iPhone can creep up.
Well, and you know what I would imagine? I do pick up for my youngest son in the late afternoon, and out of the parents who are doing pickup, there's only probably 5 to 10 of us who are dads. It's mostly the moms. It typically befalls the mom, or mom signs up, or however it works out. I find that our use of the iPhone, I am out of the office a good part of the day. And if I get to the school early and some of these moms get there, that's where you got to get all your work done right there. That has replaced the home computer.
So true. And people don't realize that they can do so much on their phone.
Yes, let's talk about what they can. So Apple has just come out with this new phone, but one of the things you talk about, at least in the promo materials I got on the book, is apps and the use of apps. I know what that is, but for people who have an iPhone but don't use apps, how do you describe that?
Well, basically, an app is a small program, and you can see the apps are like little icons on your screen if people want to know what apps are. And when you tap them, they launch. However, it's important to realize that Apple comes with apps of its own. For instance, the new operating system just came out 2 days ago. Now you have a measure tool. You can actually measure paintings, walls, any object by just pointing your phone at it. You don't have to look for a tape measure.
Wait a minute, Liz. How do I do that? Do I have to, is this on my phone right now?
If you have the new version, which is available, and to do that, you would go to settings, the settings app,
okay,
and then you would tap general, and you would tap software update, and it will check to see if you have the latest version, which is 12.
Okay.
And basically, all you need to do
download and install. Okay.
Yeah, you'd have to download and install, and usually it's a real good idea to have your phone plugged in. And it takes about maybe 10 minutes to 20 minutes, depending on your bandwidth of your wireless at home. But the bottom line is you will get many new tools in this new update. But I got to tell you, have you ever had the experience of typing a letter to somebody and all of a sudden it disappears? Maybe you've typed it in an email when you're sitting waiting for your child to come out.
Dozens of times.
And people don't know, but there's a trick that's been around for a real long time. All you have to do is shake your phone. Literally shake the phone, and you'll get a message saying undo deletion, because we many times inadvertently delete what we just typed. So these are the tricks that I try to bring up in the book about things that have probably frustrated people for a long time.
Now, tell me this again. You shake. I was looking for my cord when I'm plugging it in.
No problem.
You shake. So if you type something, or you do something you don't like, you simply shake the phone and it will undo that?
The message will come up saying undo deletion, yes or no, okay, basically, and most of the time it will restore it. So if I'm writing a Dear John letter, for instance, and I put a lot of time and energy into it, and all of a sudden I hit a button or something, or type something, and the whole thing disappears, I can basically shake the phone, and then I can get my breakup going.
Where have you been all my life?
I'm sorry?
This is so useful.
Yes, it's very useful in many situations. And that's why there's 100+ tricks that are very useful. And I have to say, this book is for everyone. It can be seniors who want to change the amount of flashlights that they use. It could be attorneys who want to scan on legal-sized documents. It could be parents. You can now control where your kids go and how much time they spend on their devices by a new feature.
Is that the 360, or what do you like there?
I'm sorry?
Do you have I know there's an app. I hear the parents talk about it. They put on their kids' phones that they know where their kid is and they know what they're doing and all that. Is there one of those that in particular, or is this part of the new Apple software upgrade you're talking about?
This is part of the new Apple software.
Well, Liz, hold right there. We'll talk to Liz Wyman. The book is called 100+ iPhone, iPad Tricks You Can Do Right Now. We're doing some of them as we speak. Hold on.
Tell them who you're listening. The Michael Berry Show.
Texas Law Shield is the one that defends you when you defend yourself. You've got to defend yourself using your gun. Unfortunately, there's going to be an investigation, and that can run up some huge legal bills in addition to everything else you've been through at that moment. It's the largest network of independent program attorneys in the country, Texas Law Shield. You'll pay 0 attorney's fees for covered events. TexasLawShield.com.
Hey, it's Ramon. Listen, cracks on your floor are not only potentially damaging to your mother's back, they could be signs of foundation issues. If doors are sticking or your house is leaning to one side, you may have foundation issues. Give my friends at Fix My Slab a call. Ty Strickland runs the place. He's a good guy. We go hunting. Fix My Slab is a Houston-based company and provides the best service around. Their work is guaranteed for life for residential and commercial work. Give them a call. 281-255-4949. 281-255-4949. Our 2018 iHeartRadio Music Festival is here. Friday and Saturday night at 9 from T-Mobile Arena in Vegas. 20 of the biggest names in music. Live on iHeartRadio or watch live on CWTV.com. More info at KPRCRadio.com.
This report is brought to you by Clear Lake Honda in Lake City, I-45 South, exit 22.
Hi, this is Wendy from Houston, and I was going to the all-new Clear Lake Honda in Lake City, but I found my car online, financed online, and they brought the car to my office. Now that's a Clear Lake Honda deal.
Clear Lake Honda, now in Lake City, I-45 South, exit 22.
Accident remains on the West Park Tollway outbound at Deary Ashford. Crews on the scene of a car fire north Sandies to Gessner. They have put it out, but it's slow from 290. And got a downtown accident, 45 northbound, approaching 59, two right lanes blocked with a delay from Lockwood. I'm Katie London in the GulfCoastWindows.com 24-hour traffic center.
Collector's Firearms is located at the corner of Richmond and Fondren, where they've always been. More guns under one roof than you are ever going to see, including at a gun show. And there's no admission cost. Plenty of parking for you. 713-781-1960. Now they do gunsmithing, gun cleaning, the whole deal. Gun storage. CollectorsFirearms.com. That's CollectorsFirearms.com. 713-781-1960.
This is Kenny Duncan Jr. from U.S. Coins and Jewelry. We would personally like to invite KTRA's listeners to come by our very safe and secure showroom and sell us your scrap gold, where we always pay 90% of melt. Come to our showroom or visit us online at HoustonCoins.com.
Lisa 2018 Executive Demo Escalade. Just $7.99 a month for 48 months with only $3 down. It's not just a Cadillac. It's a David Taylor Cadillac. DavidTaylor.com. No security deposit, $7.99 US 90 plus TTL. 4,650 miles. Stock number JR139303.
I'm Pat. I'm from Harlem, New York. I started smoking cigarettes when I was about 17, 18 when I was in the military. The effects of my daily life with smoking were, slept on the couch for about 5-6 years because of the smell. Lost a few girlfriends behind it. A lot of money. I was trying to find an alternative to smoking. I think one of the tech magazines wrote an article on it. I ordered one up, and that was the first time I got the Juul. I gave it a chance. I wish I'd found it a long time ago.
Get the flavor and satisfaction of smoking without lingering odor. Switch to Juul. Check out JUUL.com.
Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Hey, did you hear that last ad? I know, you might be skeptical, but trust me, Juul is a vaporizer that really satisfies. If you're ready to switch from cigarettes, Juul is an option you'll definitely want to try. You'll be happy you did. Don't wait. Give Juul a shot.
Oops, steam cleaning can come out to your house and bring those carpets back to life. We got 3 dogs. We don't have carpets, so they don't come and clean our carpets. But what they do is they come out, they clean our air ducts, they clean our Oriental rugs, they clean our upholstery, our sofa, dining room chairs, and those sorts of things. If you have carpet, they can do that for you. 281-822-0561. Oops, steam cleaning. 281-822-0561.
AT&T Sportsnet is your home of the world champion Houston Astros. Visit AT&TSportsnet.com and click on the channel finder to see how you can watch the Astros all season long. Live the moment and watch every game, every pitch, only on AT&T Sportsnet.
NMLS, number 9925 up 2233 Yale Street, Houston, Texas.
Are you looking to purchase a home but don't know where to start? Call the experts at Texas Lone Star today to get pre-qualified for your new home. Texas Lone Star, your home team. Call now, 713-802-0606, TexasLoanstar.com.
This report is paid for by HPOU PAC. Prop B is bad for Houston. Proposition B is a bad deal for Houston taxpayers. It would bust the city's budget, force police and fire layoffs, and Prop B will force the city to raise taxes and fees. Vote against Prop B. Take a look at HPOU PAC.
This song is called Computer Love.
Okay.
Yeah, so of all the interviews you do, they probably won't be that clever. I just want you to be aware.
You're saying of all the interviews, this probably won't be what?
Of all the interviews you do, none of the others will be so clever that they'll play Computer Love in the middle of your interview.
I love it.
I want that to be lost on you. Okay, so parents.
I really wanted to thank you so much. And is there a place I can mention how honored I am to be on your show?
Let's do that now.
Okay, just a sentence, but I was.
Okay. All right. I was hoping you'd go on, and this was the line of your career or something. I used to go. I used to drive by that Women's Institute because I get my hair cut right there. That's on Avalon, right?
Yes, 2202 Avalon, and it's a non-profit continuing education institution.
Yeah, it's a nice deal. I had a professor in college, Ross Lentz, who used to lecture over there. And he loved it because it was a nighttime program, and they would serve wine during the lecture. So it wasn't like, he taught college all day, and we're all there kind of just trying to get our degree and get out. But the ladies at the Women's Institute really, when he talked about John Locke, they came, they were prepared, they were, they read up on what was going on. So, all right, so a parent buys their child an iPhone because of this idea that, I want to know, this is what I hear more than anything else, I want to know where they are, I want them to be able to call me at school when it's time for me to come pick them up, all these, I want them to have a lifeline, right? So they buy the phone, but they're worried about when their kid uses it. They want to limit that, and you were talking about some other things that you can install on the phone.
Yes, definitely. Parents, this is a brand new feature called Screen Time where they can actually decide what apps the children can use and how long they can play this game, for instance. And they can block explicit sites, and the parent actually has their own passcode of numbers that they can, so the child can't be too smart and overrule what the parent's done because they don't know the password. And it's really valuable. But Screen Time is not just for parents. It allows you to see how much time you're on that phone or iPad. And it's pretty staggering. And so you might say, maybe I ought to go outside and smell a rose or something,
Right. Now, this is an app. This isn't part of the upgrade. This is an app.
No, it's actually part of the upgrade. You can go to settings and then Screen Time and set the whole thing up, and it guides you right through it. And my book mentions all about how to set it up. And you can turn it off for yourself, but turn it on for kids. So it's very valuable. There's a lot of features for parents, for attorneys, real estate people. Imagine if you can measure. You also can turn your phone into a level to measure the straightness of how things are hanging on or a table. If it's straight, you can use your iPhone as a magnifying glass. If you can't read the tiny print, there are so many.
I'm taking notes. I never take notes during interviews. Do you think less of Ramon that he has a Samsung and not an iPhone? Like, do you kind of a little bit look down on him?
I did not speak with him about that, but...
But now that I've told you, are you kind of secretly thinking, well, I thought he had more snap than that?
So am I secretly thinking that comparing the Samsung to the iPhone?
Yeah, are you thinking that Ramon must not be real smart if he's got a Samsung Galaxy?
Actually, I really think there are a lot of great apps on the Samsung phone. I think the big difference to me is the level of support is phenomenal for Apple.
Right, and nobody's written a book, 100 plus iPhone, iPad tricks you can do right now.
It's true. Nobody has. That's true. Available at my site, which is iWorkshopAcademy.com. As you notice, I put an I in front of workshop, so it's like Apple does. So it's iWorkshopAcademy.com. It's also available on Amazon, but I have a lower introductory price.
Oh, I like that.
And by the way, we talked about Women's Institute. I'm having a book launch party, and you are invited, and your listeners. Of course, that's across the whole country.
It's not just the girls?
Right. It's going to be on September 29th.
That'd be a hoot, Ramon. Let's me and you go.
Well, there'll be wine.
What should we wear?
You can wear whatever you like. Really, come as you are.
You don't want to tell us that.
No.
Should we wear a top hat? We're trying to bring top hats back.
I agree. I was married in the top hat. Now, I was not wearing the top hat. My husband was wearing a top hat. So I brought it back many years ago. But I do want to say that this book launch will have fun. I'll have a demonstration of the measure tool. It'll be a free demonstration, and there'll be wine after.
We'd like to drink wine during. Will there be light bites, hors d'oeuvres, if you will?
Yes, wine, hors d'oeuvres, and I'm sure you can bring it in and enjoy it.
So it'll be a seated affair?
Basically, it won't be dinner or anything, but it will be, it'll be chairs where you sit, and I will have the projector. And
well, now I'm worried that we've promoted this thing, and there are going to be more people there than chairs. Can we reserve a seat down front for just that says Ramon and Micheal?
Definitely.
Okay. What else?
I'll put special paper on the chair.
Ramon wants to wear boots. Think that's all right?
Oh, that'd be perfect. Well, look, I'm a fourth generation native Houstonian, so
we gotta go to break.
It's all good.
Yeah, hold on just a second.
This is the Michael Berry Show.
It's game time at Finnegan Chevrolet Buick GMC. Score big and save. 2018 Chevy Silverado and GMC Sierras, $14,000 off. Wow. 2018 Chevy Equinox, $189 a month. Bam! Finnegan Chevrolet Buick GMC. FinneganChevrolet.com.
The Houston Acura dealers are dealing during the model year-end sales events. 2019 Acura models have arrived at 2018's must-go ILX, TLX, RDX, and MDX. You want it? We got it. HoustonAcuraDealers.com.
Dr. Bob Arnott for Salon Paws. I'm training for the world's most grueling paddleboard race. 32 miles of open ocean, high winds and surf. Naturally, I get a lot of muscle pain. 50 years in medicine has taught me what to look for in a pain reliever. Powerful, targeted, non-addictive, and available without a prescription. I found it in Salon Paws Lidocaine Plus. It has 2 powerful anesthetics that numb nerves right where it hurts. Salon Paws gives me relief.
Welcome to Jimmy John's.
Hi, your new 9-grain wheat sub is so good. How do you make it?
With the highest quality ingredients and love. I mean, we definitely don't sing at lullabies when it's baking. Lullabies are what parents sing to babies.
Right.
And we don't use a baby carrier to carry the warm, fresh 9-grain wheat subs to the cooling racks. I mean, they're not babies. They're for making delicious sandwiches.
Okay, I'll take a turkey tom.
Oh, don't name them. It makes it harder.
Try our new 9-grain wheat sub, Jimmy John's. We got, freak yeah.
This report is brought to you by Nissan Intelligent Mobility. This report is brought to you by Staples.
If you prefer to get your news the old-fashioned way, crowded around the window of a store that sells TVs, we're not for you. For news.
What happened?
Know what happened. As it happens.
Pay close attention.
As you go about your day, getting answers. Check in. News Radio 740 KTRH. Breaking news 24/7 from the Gallery Furniture Made in America studios. This is News Radio 740 KTRH, Houston's news, weather, traffic, and iHeart radio station. The president tours hurricane damage in the Carolinas. I'm Corey Olson at 6:30 on News Radio 740 KTRH. With traffic and weather together, here's Katie London.
We've got an accident that's causing some slow traffic now. 45 Gulf Freeway coming inbound at El Dorado. That's stopping go from Nassau Parkway. About a 5-minute delay. They have put out the fire, but on the north San eastbound at Gessner, the 2 left lanes still remain blocked with a slowdown from 290. And there's an 18-wheeler that looks like it's still stalled on the southwest freeway inbound at Chimney Rock. Still about a 3-minute delay there from the West Park Tollway. And Katie London in the GulfCoastWindows.com 24-hour traffic center.
Our Weather Channel forecast tonight, partly cloudy, lows in the low to mid-70s. Tomorrow, more moisture moving in, partly to mostly cloudy, scattered thunderstorms possible, and a high in the low 90s. It's 90 now under scattered clouds at the KTRH West Side, North Side Lexus 24-hour Weather Center. KTRH News Time 6:31. The news brought to you by Top Tax Defenders. Our top story, President Trump is back at the White House after spending the day touring hurricane damage in North and South Carolina. The president said the Carolinas experienced epic flooding from Hurricane Florence and promised that nothing will be left undone when it comes to federal aid. The illegal immigrant killer of Iowa college student Molly Tibbetts is pleading not guilty to charges of first-degree murder. Christian Rivera entered that plea today and waived his right to a speedy trial. He faces life in prison if convicted. On Wall Street, the Dow surged 159 points to 26,405. The Nasdaq fell 6, S&P 500 up 4, crude oil up $1.59 to $71.44 a barrel. Our next update at 7 o'clock. Now more of the Michael Berry Show. I'm Corey Olson on News Radio 740 KTRH.
MadeYaSmile.com. MadeYaSmile.com. My dentist. Whether you need lumineers, implants, veneers, teeth whitening, crowns, dentures, extractions, root canals. Who wants to have a root canal? But sometimes. Sedation dentistry, Invisalign, veneers, all of it. Same-day dental emergencies. And nitrous oxide, if you need it. You're one of those people that are scared of the dentist. You don't need to be here. 281-265-1111.
Houston homeowners, there's never been a better time to permanently fix your low water pressure, rusty water, or pipe leaks by repiping your home today. Repipe Specialist repipes your entire home in just 1 to 2 days, patches your walls, and provides a lifetime guarantee. They only use the best repiping materials, high-quality PEX or USA Grade L copper. For a limited time, get 20% off and 0% interest for an entire year on approved credit. Call Repipe Specialist today for your free in-home estimate at 800-224-4052. That's 800-224-4052.
Fall savings are here with deep discounts on thousands of new Ford cars and trucks.
The Planet Ford Whisperer has your perfect match.
I talked to my Fords to find your best deal ever.
Like $20,000 off MSRP on a new 2018 F-150 Super Crew.
Kick off your fall season with a new Ford.
Save thousands at PlanetFord.com.
Go deep for extreme discounts on F-150 Super Crew.
20,000 off.
2 giant Planet Ford locations.
In Spring and Humble.
We're dealing.
Every minute of every day, Houston firefighters and paramedics respond to our city's emergencies. With about 1,000 calls daily, Houston is one of America's busiest and most advanced fire departments. Yet Houston firefighters make far less than firefighters in other big Texas cities. In fact, a new Houston firefighter with a family could even be eligible for government assistance. And because of the low pay, we're losing experienced Houston-trained firefighters to other cities, like Dallas, where starting pay is twice that of Houston. It's time to remove the politics from Houston public safety. A yes vote for Proposition B will not raise taxes. A yes vote for Proposition B helps firefighters continue to deliver excellent service to our city. Please vote yes on Proposition B. Vote yes for public safety. A message from your Houston professional firefighters. Houston, we thank you for your support. Political advertising paid for by the Support Our Firefighters Political Action Committee.
Life's certainties. Taxes, we'll take that.
Whoa, but that's all I have left.
Debt. And Houston traffic.
Where are you?
Oh, I'm just sitting in traffic, waiting to die.
Do less sitting. And do more living.
Traffic matters to me.
Make your commute easier. Instructions.
For dropping the kids off. Traffic.
What areas to avoid.
Afternoons. Every 15 minutes past the hour.
What's going to happen in traffic?
On News Radio 740. KTRH.
Top production values. This show.
Oh, I wake up in the morning with my hair down and my eyes, and she says hi.
Oh, little green apples.
Stumble to the breakfast table.
I see what you
kids are going off to school. Goodbye. And she reaches out and takes my hand, squeezes it, and says, "How you feeling now?" Oh, yes. And I look across at smiling lips that warm my heart and see my morning sun. And if that's not loving me, then all I got to say.
Liz Wyman is our guest. Her book is 100 plus iPhone, iPad tricks you can do right now. You can get it on Amazon or on her site at the letter iWorkshopAcademy.com. How was that, Liz? See, I did all that for you. You didn't have to do it now.
That was awesome.
And then do people need to sign up for this event Saturday, September 29th from 4 to 6 at the Winnemans Institute? How do they?
Yeah. On my site, the front page, there's an RSVP. We never want to run out of wine.
Right. Are you going to sell the books there?
Yes, there'll be I'll sell the book. There'll be a book. I'll sell the book at the introductory price, book signing, Q&A session, and it's from 4 to 6. A lot of mingling and hors d'oeuvres, and it'll be really fun.
Ramon thinks you should give away an iPhone.
Oh, wouldn't that be a great idea?
Let's see if we can find a sponsor that would pay for that, and then they'll give it away. Hey, one of the things it says in the notes is use Apple Pay to send money to a contact. My wife does this. Like if somebody's doing some work at the house or like at the school, they'll say, hey, you have to pay $25 for Crockett to get to go on the field trip. And she's got some way she does it. Is that what this is, or is this a new thing? Oh, she does PayPal. This is a different deal, right? Apple Pay?
Yeah, this is different from PayPal. In fact, a lot of college people or millennials, they use something called Venmo, or they'll use, where they can send money. But now Apple has built this into their texting program. So if you're texting somebody, one of your contacts, let's say you have a college kid, and they need money, basically, from just the text area, you can tap Apple Pay Cash, and they will receive it right away. So you don't have, you'll notice that a lot of the third-party apps, not created by Apple, are out there, but Apple is doing more and more of its own. And they're actually allowed, so you don't have to go to a third party. It's being built into their own system. So I guess if you go to Whole Foods Market, you may see different brands, but Whole Foods has their own. And I feel like, in a way, Apple...
Theirs is called 365, isn't it?
I believe so. So I think Apple now...
I'm embarrassed I know that. I'm sorry. Delete that from the record, Ramon. I heard that from somebody. I've never been to Whole Foods. I'm sorry I said that. I was so excited to tell what I knew that I probably shouldn't have exposed that I knew that. So one of the things it says is Safari. Safari will let you read website articles later offline. So that would be useful because a lot of times if I'm sitting in the pickup line reading an article and then it's time to go, by the time I get back to it, it's not still there. So how does that work?
That is one of my favorite tricks of all. And basically, all you do is you find articles and you hit a share button, which is, you'll see is one of the most important buttons of all. It's a square with an arrow, and I tell you how to do it in my book. When you tap that, you tap Add to Reading List. So there's a very special place where all the articles go. And if you're on a plane, for instance, and you're not using Wi-Fi on the plane, you don't need Wi-Fi. You have all these articles on your device.
Oh, yeah. That's true because I see a lot of people will say, hey, did you see this story? And I'll say, yeah. And then they'll ask me to talk about it. And, well, I didn't read it. I just read the headline because I didn't have time to read it at that moment. But if I could save those and go back later and get the details, that'd be handy.
Yeah, and that is definitely, it's been around, but I kept it in my book because it's so useful.
Ramon, you are so good. Ramon wants to know, Liz Wyman, if when he comes, if you're checking at the door to make sure everybody there has an iPhone, because he wants to come to the event. But
we don't, that's the fun thing. We don't discriminate against the Samsung users.
Y'all have a non-discrimination policy?
We really do, and we welcome them because they have wonderful apps also. And many times, if they come to this, they can see they may have an equivalent app that I'm describing for their own system.
Or he might switch back to the Apple. What happened, Ramon? You got mad at Apple at one point. He got mad at Apple over the week. Ramon used to be the biggest Apple person ever. He thought Apple was the greatest company ever, and they did something that made him mad, and then he switched over. It was a petulant thing to do. What was it? They didn't make phones for left-handed people, and he thought that was discriminatory toward the disabled.
Well, now they have a left and right keyboard you can choose between, but actually I'm left-handed, so welcome to the club, Ramon.
Well, he takes things, He's always trying to take up some big cause and use his spending power, his buying power, to bring about social change. The book is called 100 Plus iPhone, iPad Tricks You Can Do Right Now. Okay, so give me another one. It says, edit live photos. What's that about? What is the live? Why does it tell me my photo is live? I don't understand that.
Well, that's very interesting. It's one of the most exciting features. Yes, you know what a still photo is. If I take a picture of a tree, a beautiful tree, I'm on vacation. Let's say I'm in Tahiti or I'm in Bora Bora, and I'm taking a picture of the beach. All you're going to see is the sun in the sand. But won't you be more jealous if you can press on the picture and hear and see movement in the picture? Yes, it's not a video, but it's like a tiny video. It's like they take 3 seconds before the shutter hits and 3 seconds or so after. And basically, a lot can happen. In
Liz, hold on just a moment. Liz Wyman is our guest, W-E-I-M-A-N. Her site is iWorkshopAcademy.com. She goes to exotic places. When we go to Beaumont,
there's more to like on Facebook. Like The Michael Berry Show.
New York Times has a bestseller list where they rank bestsellers. We have a bestseller list for the Michael Berry Show, and right now at number 1 on our list is by Liz Wyman, W-E-I-M-A-N. It's called 100 Plus iPhone, iPad Tricks You Can Do Right Now. You can get it at iWorkshopAcademy.com. Okay, so you were telling about the photos. You say, so I've never had great experience with Siri, but one of your hacks or tips is let Siri set up your rides with Uber and Lyft. Tell me about that.
Yes, once you enable certain settings, which I tell you how to do it, you can just say, Siri, book a ride with Uber. And she has all the information, so she'll bring up the app immediately, or she will book the ride with Lyft or Uber. And one good thing about Siri is there's 2 new things that she can do. She can translate if you're traveling overseas. You can say, how do I say this in German, and she will say it. And secondly, the one thing about Siri that people, let's say like attorneys and business people don't want is that you have to talk. And suppose they're in a crowded room and in the middle of a lecture, but they need information. You can actually change Siri so that you can just text your question and you don't have to speak. So, those Siri...
Did you know that, Ramon?
I'm sorry?
I was just asking Ramon. Ramon wants to know if your first lesson that night or that day on the 29th, because we're coming, if the first lesson will be how to turn your phone on vibrate.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, good.
I think that's an important thing. Some of the basics people really miss, and that's where we try to fill in the gap.
Do you use Uber or Lyft?
It depends. I've used both really. But when I was in New York City, there was a great deal on Lyft where it was half price, so I ended up using that quite a bit for a while. But I did want to tell you about photos. You can mark up your photos. That means you can take a photo and you can write on it now. You can draw arrows. You can do anything to mark, and that's very valuable in many businesses. If you take a picture of your product and say, you see that part right there, that's, you want that component. Like if you sell components to a bigger piece, then you say, we sell you that product or that component right there. That's it. You can even make a cartoon, like you could draw like the old-fashioned comic books. You could draw a little bubble. I mean, I think you'd have a lot of fun with that, right? I could have a blast, like people that I don't like, I'll take a picture of them, and then I'll draw nasty things on there and send it to them. Yeah, you could have them saying anything you want. Yeah, here's what I think of you, and then there would be the photo. Do you like your Uber driver to talk to you, or you prefer they be quiet? Are you chatty with your Uber driver, or you just like to get in and not be bothered? I would like to get in and not be bothered, but sometimes they have interesting stories to tell. And, of course, they're being rated, of course, so...
But you're being rated, too.
I know. Isn't that awful?
Well, it is, but I don't normally tell people this till the interview's over. But Ramon and I rate our guests. We have a just like Uber and all. We have a little system. And so in case you have some place that you're rating me, I'm going to do what I do to the Uber driver and tell you I've really enjoyed this interview and I'm giving you 5 stars. And that's supposed to spur you to also give me 5 stars back. You know, that's what I do.
I like that.
Well, I figure if I'm going to give them 5 stars, then I should tell them I'm going to give them 5 stars. And it would make them more likely to give me 5 stars. Because I want to have a good rating. You ever checked your rating?
That's brilliant.
The event is Saturday, September 29th from 4 to 6 p.m. at the Women's Institute, which is 2202 Avalon. But you can get all the details at Liz's website, which is the letter I, iWorkshopAcademy.com. Her book is called 100 Plus iPhone, iPad Tricks You Can Do Right Now. Give us another one, Liz.
Michael?
Yes. Are you there?
Can I was wondering if I could thank you. I was hoping to have a chance to...
Oh, sure. Go ahead.
First of all, I'm so honored to have the opportunity to be on your show. You are a legend.
Oh.
And not just in your own mind.
Well, that's very nice of you to say.
I know how much people value your program across the country, and that's why thank you so much for having me on.
But that's probably why we're going to sell so many books.
Well, also, it gives me a chance to empower people. I've been teaching for many years, since the late 80s, and there's nothing like the way a person feels when they become empowered to do things on their own and to teach their kids and grandkids a thing or two.
You know, I think you would be, I was lucky, I've been lucky in my career to have had a number of really good teachers. I think you would be a good teacher, like a school teacher.
Well, thank you so much. I really enjoy people.
Well,
I enjoy dealing with the public.
And I can tell you enjoy imparting knowledge and wisdom and, you know, little hacks. Can we get another one?
Sure, anytime.
Another little trick. You got another trick for us? Yep.
You like another trick that's... Okay, well, let's see. There's a million of them. So we did talk a little bit on scanning documents into the phone.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty amazing. So to me, that's really important because I've actually been at a closing on a house where the documents were wrong, and it stopped the whole closing. They had to run the Kinko's. They had to scan, do all kinds of things that they could have just sat there on their phone with a couple of the pages that were wrong. Another thing, brand new, is stocks. There is a stocks app. If anybody is into the stock market, now when you can create a watch list of all your favorite stocks. When you tap the stocks, you get the latest news, not just the information on the stock.
And that's all on, that's not an app, that's on the upgrades?
That's all on the upgrade. They revamped the stock program.
Wow.
One of my favorite tricks is, have you ever heard of airdrop?
I actually do that. That's one of the few things I do know how to do.
I'm so excited. It's one of the best things. You're able to transfer photos if you're sitting next to somebody. You don't have to email 20 photos. You can both airdrop to each other. But now, with the new version, you can airdrop passwords. And nothing's more annoying than visiting somebody and you need to get their password.
I don't understand.
Well, basically, you can share passwords. Like, for instance, if you want to get into Amazon, let's say you want to...
shoot. You know what, Liz? I'm up against the break. So Liz isn't going to be able to finish. You're going to have to buy her the book to get it. The website is iWorkshop Academy, the letter I, iWorkshopAcademy.com. We'll see you on the 29th, Liz. Please save us seats. And ask them if we can drink our wine inside the room, because we like to learn while we're drinking.